I've talked about Palantir a lot on this channel, but in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do and the strategy to implement into your portfolio so you can make $10,000 a month or more running the wheel strategy on Palantir. Hey guys, Corey here. Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time stopping in, be sure to subscribe and tap the bell so you know when I post awesome content just like this. And if you could give me a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it as it helps the channel grow. We already know Palantir is a winner. They have no debt. They're sitting on billions of dollars in cash. They're up 50% year to date, up 70+% in the last year, and they're looking at a 500% return by the year 2030. A forward-looking PE ratio of 60, which is really good compared to where it's at right now. An AIP bootcamp that deploys within 10 hours, giving you a working product. Their debt is actually going down. Their income is going up. They've met or beaten all of the earnings estimates over the last 4 quarters. And their commercial side of the business is almost 50% with the government side of the business, which means if we have any issues overseas or abroad, then the government side will bring Palantir profits. And if nothing happens, the commercial side will bring Palantir a lot of business. They're positioned really well to make money really no matter what goes on. Also strengthening our military. Right now, a lot of institutions and people don't quite get Palantir, and once they do, they'll realize that they need it. When they realize that the competition is using Palantir, they will be forced to use Palantir themselves. Palantir, in a way, you can think of it as the software version of NVIDIA. No matter how good hardware is, the best hardware in the world, custom gaming PCs, just custom computers overall, need software. They need firmware. They need coding. No matter how you look at it, hardware is useless without software. Palantir's AIP is a masterpiece. In fact, it's better than LLM. It's better than ChatGPT, which is all basic stuff compared to Palantir. We already know this is a great company sitting on billions of dollars worth of cash. So with earnings coming up a little over a month away, let me show you how you can run the wheel strategy on Palantir to make $10,000 a month or more passive income, because this is a great company and you only want to run the wheel strategy on great companies like Palantir. If you guys like the strategy that I employ in this video, but you have a smaller portfolio, you can just cut the position size to 1/3 or 1/4 of what I'm showing you in this video to achieve it. But ultimately, it works the same way. I mean, nothing's better than running the wheel strategy, right? Selling puts to get in, selling covered calls to get out, constantly collecting money, right? Being an option seller is the safest and the best strategy, right, guys? Right? I mean, no, you're going to stay over there and buy options. You're going to buy, and I'm going to sell. I'm going to make money. I have an 80% success rate. You guys have a 20% success rate. It's the way I like it. I'll take your money to get into the stock. You want to give me some money? I'll take your money. I'll take yours if you want to pay more. This is just one of the many strategies that I love to run in order to make passive income monthly selling options. In my big account, I currently run a pretty big wheel strategy, lots of puts, covered calls on Palantir, and I'm going to show you guys how to implement this strategy into your portfolio in this video. If you guys are looking to grow your financial wealth and freedom, maybe you're having trouble in the market, or you're just having trouble understanding options, or maybe you understand them decently, but you're just looking to improve and get better, I'm offering one-on-one coaching, full training course in Discord covering every aspect of the stock market to help you guys achieve the financial freedom and wealth that you deserve. So if you guys would like to have me as your one-on-one coach and would love to join the Discord in order to better yourself and surround yourself with like-minded people that are just like you trying to grow their financial freedom, I would love to help you guys out. I would love to teach you. I have limited spots remaining for the month of July. I already have financial freedom and love what I do, but what drives me ultimately every day is helping others achieve the success that they deserve, just like you. So you guys can sign up for my one-on-one coaching and Discord at any time on the screen, investwithcorey.com, or in the information box below. Okay, so we're going to look at a chart on Palantir. We're going to wait for a little bit of a pullback. If we don't get a pullback, we're going to enter around $28. If we get a pullback to, let's say, $27.50 or $27, we'll get in. But for the sake of this video, we're going to say we get a little bit of a pullback in the next day or so, and I enter in around $27. What I'm going to do is buy 3,000 shares of Palantir. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Palantir options. We're going to buy 3,000 shares, which allows us to sell 30 contracts. We're going to go out to August 2nd, which is before earnings. We don't want to cap ourselves in earnings. As long as we don't get assigned on these shares, we can wait for the stock price to rise on earnings. If not, if we get assigned, that's also good, because if the stock price goes down after earnings, we are still going to get assigned the week before, because earnings is on the 5th and we're going to be possibly getting assigned on the 2nd. So we're going to sell 30 covered calls, but what we're going to do is we're going to space them out a little bit here. So what we're going to do is we're going to sell 30 covered calls at $30. We're getting in, let's say, at 27. So we're going to sell $30 covered calls. This is going to generate us $1,860 for the month. So we're going to mark that down, get my pen. We're going to go over to my whiteboard and we're going to buy 3,000 shares. So what we're going to do is we're going to put Palantir right here. 3,000 shares times $27. This is $81,000. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sell 30 covered calls at $60, which is $1,860 for the month. So this right here is really good because if we get assigned on these shares, then we're collecting $30 per contract. So what we're going to do is we end up selling those 3,000 shares times 30, and this is going to be $90,000. So we're going to make $9,000 just on the stocks alone, plus the $1,860. We're already at $10,860 for the month right there. However, we're also going to protect ourselves a little bit more. We're now going to look at the chart to see where we think the stock is going to go. So let's say the stock stays below 30, we don't get assigned, and it drops a little bit. Well, if it drops back, let's say it goes from 27 back up to 28 or 29, then back to 28, back to 27, safely here, we'll sell a $26 put. So we're going to go over here to Robinhood. We've already got our covered calls being sold on the shares we purchased. We're going to go ahead and sell 10 puts at $60. And then you can see we're going to collect $600. So we're going to go over here to the whiteboard yet again. And then we're going to go ahead and sell 10 puts at $600. And this will be for the calls. And this will be for the puts. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go sell 10 puts. We're going to put this here, $26 put, $30 call. There we go. Going to go back to Robinhood, and then we're going to sell 10 $25 puts. We'll probably get 37 for that, $370. Yep, we'll collect another 370 there, and I'll show you and explain what we're doing. So 10 times 37 equals 370. $25 put. So what this basically does, if the stock price goes up and we get assigned on our 30 calls, we collect $90,000, which is $9,000 profit plus the covered calls, then we're pretty much up huge. $9,000 profit plus $1,860, $10,860 made. But not only that, we made another $970 in the puts that are going to expire worthless because the stock price can't be at $30 and 26 and 25 at the same time. It's either going to hit the puts or hit the calls. So if it hits the calls and we get assigned, then all this extra money is profits. However, if the stock price was to fall from 27 or 28, not go to 30 and fall back to 25 or 26, then we're going to get assigned on these puts, but the calls expired worthless. So which means we're going to be adding to our position. So if the stock price was to go to 26 and we got assigned on these puts, we now could sell 40 contracts up here, which would be almost $3,000. Then we're going to have shares that we purchased at 26, which is going to bring our dollar cost average down. So our average cost is no longer going to be $27. It's going to be a little bit less. Let me show you. So we have 3,000 shares at 27, and then we're going to add 1,000 shares at 26. So now our average cost is $26,750. So, or $26.75. So which means we're 25 cents lower. Not a huge deal, but something to be aware of. So worst case scenario, if Palantir goes to 25, we get assigned on these shares. We have 5,000 shares now. If that happens, then right now we've made 600 and 370, which is 970 plus the 1860. So 970 plus the 1860. So we're up $2,830 profit. However, we bought the shares for $27 minus the 25 is where they're at now. So we bought the shares for $27 minus the 25 that they'd be valued at if we got assigned on the puts, leaves us with $2 times the 3,000 shares we had. So we're in the hole $6,000. However, you got to take away the 970 on the puts, then you got to take away the 1860 we made from the calls. So we're only 3,000 in the hole. So what we do in this situation is we then again will sell $28 calls, which will get us roughly the same premium as the 30. We just have to drop it down to 28, and that's going to give us about another $2,000 in premium, which means we're only out $1,170. However, Once that happens, we're now making $125 on every 100 shares because our average cost now is $26.75. Actually, it's less because what we're going to do is we're going to add another 1,000 shares from the second put at 25. Our average cost is $26.40. So if we look at it that way, if we sell them at 28, take away 26.40 leaves us with a profit of $1.60 times 5,000, $8,000 profit. Yet again, $8,000 to $10,000 a month. So that you can see how this hedges our position, because even though we were 1,100 in the hole, even if we got assigned at 28, because we dollar cost average with the puts, when it runs back up, even if we got assigned immediately after that, the following month, we're still up $8,000. So that's how we can make $8,000 to $10,000 a month on Palantir. And even if that was to happen and take a little bit longer, which sometimes it can, we're just going to keep collecting that $1,800 to $2,000 a month juicy premium. So which means the following month we would be around 10 grand or more, because if the price goes up to 27.50 or almost at 28, we can roll out another month and up to 30 again, collect another 2,000, which puts us pretty much back to where we originally were. It won't be $8,000, it'll be 10,000 plus the 2,000 in covered calls plus the original 1,800. So instead of making 8 grand, we would now be at $12,000 profit. So $12,000 is a lot, but usually this can be done $10,000 a month. What you're really going to do is average this out over the year. So if this takes 2 to 3 months, then you do it again 2 to 3 months. At the end of the year, when you divide 12 months into your total profit, it's going to average between $8,000 to $10,000 a month. This is a very good passive income strategy because it's a stock that likes to go up and down. And if it doesn't go down, that's even better. So if the stock is bullish and runs up, we're getting a sign on the 30 calls, making 90 grand, which is 9,000 profit plus the 1,860, which is 10,860 plus this 11,860. So if the stock runs, we're out. We made 12 grand profit in 1 month. If the stock comes down, doesn't hit these puts, but goes back to 27 where we break even, this 1,860 is ours to keep, and we do it again the next month, and now we make our 10 to 12 grand plus this, which is 14 grand in 2 months. So it's printing money constantly. Even if the stock was to go to 24 or 23, we would just get all these shares and we would sell all these calls at $27. So even if it's a little bit less premium, we're still going to get out where we got in a worst case scenario, and all of this premium is still ours. It's highly unlikely for that to happen because I typically run this strategy with puts that are far enough out of the money that it's very hard to get assigned on, and I don't buy the shares until it's at a good support, and I only go $1 or $2 above on the calls. So this really is an ideal strategy to print money. Now, granted, everybody's portfolio is a different size. Not everybody's portfolio is the same size. So this is going to take about $120,000 to make $8,000 to $10,000 a month. But even at $5,000 a month, that's 5% per month. And this strategy consistently does that. 10% per month is a little more aggressive. So you got to sell slightly more aggressive calls, slightly more aggressive puts, and you got to do your due diligence on the chart. However, safely, this is a 5K a month strategy very easily, but 10K a month is doable. I just showed you guys $11,000 profit on this stock. Now, once that scenario plays out, you get assigned at $30, you exit the stock, you made your 11 grand, let's say that happened. Then what you would do is you would wait for the stock to pull back a little bit and come back below $30 and then sell $25, $26, or $27 put. Wait for it to pull back towards the put, buy shares, then sell $30 covered calls again. If you time it right, after your exit, you wait for the pullback, you rinse and repeat. Sometimes you will have to wait for a recovery for a month or two and then start selling covered calls again. But in the long run, at the end of the month, this right here is going to average out between $50,000 to $100,000 a year. So you're really between a 50% and 100% return every single year. And I would say the average that I've seen doing it for myself is usually in the 70 to 80% or more. So realistically, if that's the case, you'd be consistently generating $5,000 to $7,000 a month on this strategy. If you have more capital and you want to run more contracts, you can do that as well. But the wheel strategy is very powerful. And the key is you want to hedge your risk by selling these puts, because the stock can't be in both directions. So if it goes up, you get all this premium. If it goes down, well, then you get more shares and you dollar cost average, and you get to keep all the premium on the calls. Even if the stock was to go to $23 or $24, eventually it's going to recover in a few months, and you're going to get assigned at 30 on those covered calls. And you're going to be selling more puts and adding to your position and dollar cost averaging and exiting, re-entering. By the time you average it out, you'll make a consistent income. This is what I'm doing in my big portfolio, and I was able to generate over a 70% return in a year. So I've consistently made between $6,000 and $8,000 every single month, and some months were $10,000 to $12,000 on Palantir. It just depends on the stock movement for kind of like specifics on how much you'll make specifically. That really depends on where the stock's going. But ultimately, it's really conservative and safe to say that on this strategy, exactly where the numbers are that I showed you, $5K to $7K per month. Very good strategy, very safe, and this is the way to grow your income and your portfolio. So here is a position that I have in Palantir in my small portfolio. It's only $11,000, a lot smaller than the 100,000 plus position I have in my large portfolio. But I did this to show you guys an example. My average cost being $21. You can see here I got 2 covered calls at 23, another one at 23 for a different expiration date, another one for 25. So I am making $400 plus another 2, which is 6, plus another $400, $1,000, plus I had 5 put contracts, which brought in another $200. Actually, it was over $200. It was closer to $300 because I did it 5 weeks out, and I had a couple at 23, and then I had a couple at 24. They expired worthless a week ago. So I've made $1,500 on $12,000 collateral. 10% of $100,000 is $10,000, which is what I was telling you earlier in the strategy, $10,000 a month. It can fluctuate a little bit, but it's really good premium. Think about that. $1,500 profit on 10 or 11 grand in 30 days. And I'm running the wheel strategy right here. I'm going to exit Palantir at 23 and 25. This exit's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. If it doesn't happen and the stock price goes down to say 25 or 24, I'm going to start selling $22 and $23 puts to dollar cost average, as well as get in more shares and sell more covered calls. This is the most powerful strategy. You guys can see how powerful selling cash secured puts and covered calls are at the exact same time, because the stock can't be in 2 places at once and you're generating juicy premium on both ends of the trade. And no matter where the stock goes, you win. If it goes up, you get out, make lots of money. If it goes down, you lose a little bit of money, but you dollar cost average with the put, and you just rinse and repeat and continually make premium, and you use time to make up for any losses so that you're consistently over the course of a year generating juicy profits and growing your portfolio. If you guys enjoyed the trades that I showed you in this video and you want to learn more trades like it, maybe you're looking to grow your wealth, learn even more about the market, and just overall become better and achieve the financial success that you deserve, I offer one-on-one coaching, Discord, and full training course. You guys can sign up at any time at investwithcorey.com or in the information box below. I would love to be your financial coach and help you guys achieve the financial success that you deserve. That's what drives me every single day, is helping my students who are just like you achieve their financial success and freedom. And I really thoroughly enjoy teaching, so I hope to have the honor of teaching you, and I will speak with you soon, hopefully. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Be sure to subscribe, tap the bell if you guys enjoyed the content. Give me a thumbs up, as it greatly helps the channel grow. If you guys enjoyed this video, I have another one just for you, and it's right here. Click that video. I will see you guys over there. I promise you, I'm over there waiting for you. This is a good one too. You're gonna love it. Thanks so much for being here, and remember, until the next video, let's grow our wealth together. Take care, guys.